Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Friday, Farmer Michelle.
Happy Friday to you too, Volcron.
Happy Friday to all our listeners. It is August 25th, and this is Town Hall number, I don't know what number. It's we've been doing this for well over 2.5 years now.
It's been a
And
minute.
yeah, so we do this. If you've never listened before, we do it to bring you game updates, news, not usually rumors, share art, talk about the upcoming sale, upcoming challenge, all that good stuff. And let's see. Today we have some cool art from our art team. This is sort of a theme we're going for the closing out October. Let me post this little guy in there. It is so cute.
It is cool.
And just post this in Discord.
Very Halloween.
Oh man,
I wish the
love it.
pumpkin I carved looked as nice as that one. Mine has already collapsed.
What collapsed?
My pumpkin that I carved
Oh no. Man,
did not hold up.
well, we will get to the thing you see in this art in the back, the guy that's stepping out of the upturned ship. We will get to that later in the call. And yeah, so if you're on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed and that you have notifications turned on to our channel, so that you will know when we start these things. Today we started a few minutes late. That was my fault. But we're usually on time, and it is scheduled every Friday, if it's Friday in your time zone, at 8 a.m. Pacific. So, anywho, let's move on to headlines. Farmer Michelle, any headlines about the rewards?
Yeah, so the Gala rewards for last week's event went out. The Hasty Beekeeper for last week did not go out yet because we had accidentally sent it out the week prior also and are planning to send it out for last week as well. We had to remint like a second supply and test them and make sure they're good before we could send them back out. So those should be out early next week, I would think. They'll still say Hasty Beekeeper, but they'll probably say Hasty Beekeeper 2. So anybody who participated in both will likely have 2 of that NFT. But if you did
Nice.
better one week or the other, you'll have a different one. So, and you can pick and choose between which one you want to use. But they should be out later. And I'll get that leaderboard document updated shortly. I'll try to get that done today.
Thank you. Well, that's fun. So yeah, if you're new to the game, or if maybe you think the only way you can get NFTs is by purchasing them, although purchasing is good and very quick, you do get those monthly. We get monthly free storage NFTs. October's, I believe, will be Blueberry, right?
Yes, blueberry storage.
All right. And there's all sorts of different ways you can earn these. If you want the common one, you just log in and you play the game on 10 separate days. Fast forwarding doesn't count for that. You just need to make sure, log in, look at your town, and make at least 25 trades. If you want the rare, that one is of 75 trades throughout the month. It doesn't matter what you sell. Do jet fuel, candy canes, whatever. And then uncommon is for those fancy people of you that have the what is called Town Star nodes, and run one of those for at least 6 hours per day for a minimum of 10 days per month. You'll get the uncommon. And that's a way you can get 3 ways you can get 3 different NFTs for free every month. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. And they definitely come in handy. Sometimes you won't even realize how handy they are until you put one down and realize how nice it is to have a specific item storage just for a certain item.
Oh, it really is. That is one of the challenges. Yeah, well, speaking of challenges, we have daily challenges now. I just finished the 25th one. I've done 25 in a row since we launched them. I think it's super fun. Anybody that's listening or wants to send in feedback later, Michelle's linked the form. Let us know what you think. Are they too easy, too hard? Are you enjoying it? Love to hear it.
Yes.
So, or if you just want to be weirder, if you want random shapes or spoiled soil over a third of the town or whatever, let us know. All right. I'm going to do some game updates here. New main menu flow, new layout is live, has been for a couple weeks now. Looking for any feedback y'all have on that. If you're like, no, we liked the 3 tabs before or whatever, let us know. And one thing you probably don't notice if you're listening to this, but new players, people who have never touched this game before, never signed in, when you first enter the game, it takes you straight into the Common Ground world mode. We're reviewing some of the gameplay in that because, when we first launched it, we wanted it to be super user friendly. And so that meant no cost for workers, no gas required for sales, and everything grows slower. So we will be reviewing that. We have been a little bit
Mhm.
yesterday and the day before, just to make sure that that's still fun for everybody.
Yep.
Other game update, speaking of which, we're doing some new experiments. I'm not going to Tom Holland this, but we're looking for some fun ways to gain in-game cash and to get temporary buffs like run speed or crop growth speed or crafting, stuff like that. Temporary buffs. We're looking at different ways to do that. And I just want to hint at that because it's not part of our regularly scheduled programming. Um, Recent fixes. Some of you have noticed a navigation fix. We fixed some of the issues in that. One of them regarded rotating. So when you rotated a building in the game, it would, if you know a little bit of like game programming or whatever, it would basically put a hole in the navigation world, or nav mesh as they call it. So that's been fixed on at least Clover Fields, and we want to make sure that that is 100% before we roll it out to other buildings and units. We also have made a big change to auto sell. So you might want to write this down or just notice it when you play. Auto sell is going, now it's going to show. So previously, as you know, it only shows what you have stored. Um, and that's a little challenging. So if you have a building you're not going to be able to build something out of it. And I keep saying candy canes. I got candy canes on the mind. But if you're not going to have mint for another 20 minutes as part of your strategy or whatever, but you want to do fast forward, there was no way to say, oh, I want to sell candy canes a half hour from now. I want to set the auto sell for 10 minimum, because you had to have them in storage. Well, we've changed that. And here are the 3 things. If you have anything in storage, it'll continue to be in the auto sell list. If you have a building selected, let's say a windmill, whatever it's set to craft, like say you have one windmill and it's set to craft flour, that'll show up in the auto sell list. If you add a second windmill and it's set to craft sugar, that'll show up in the auto sell list. And of course, anything that grows on the ground or is generated, through other means. So it'll be sorted alphabetically, A to Z, and anything that you have 0 quantity of that fits any of that criteria, it'll still show up. So this was originally just to prevent the jumping around, but we had to do a little deeper dive on it and be like, well, what's better for people? So that
Yeah, it should be a
is,
really nice update because now people can, yeah, like you said, they can plan ahead, put things on auto sell even if they haven't made a bunch yet or any at all. So
yeah.
that'll be really nice.
There was also the idea that maybe we would put in the auto sell anything that any building you have down could produce instead of just what you had selected. Of course, that's very easy to do. We just wanted to try this out first. Only do the ones that are crafting chosen. An example would be, I make petroleum and gasoline. I'm never going to sell jet fuel. I don't want to see jet fuel in my auto sell. Not that
Makes
it matters,
sense.
but yeah. Let's see. Oh, we're doing for NFT upgrades and all that. We're doing the UI, big UI changes. There was a question somebody had about skins, and that'll be answered later on. And yeah, just letting you know, I'm not going to share any screenshots. It's still you'd have to put on your developer goggles to to see the beauty. But it's yeah, work continues on that. Other update is dirty cheaters. There's a small exploit that would allow you to get a small amount of in-game cash through a very convoluted process. It would have been faster, honestly, to just be good at the game, but we take all cheats seriously, so we fixed that. If you never used it, you won't even notice. And the people who were using it, maybe they'll be at rank 1300 instead of 1298 from now on. So it wasn't a big deal, but I just want to let you know we take all these exploits seriously and we look into them. Okay. Oh, this went out a week or two ago, right, Michelle?
Yeah, the cargo cart.
Yeah. Let me share a little image of it here. You guys, this I think this is the coolest thing to hit our game. I don't know why we didn't add this sooner. If you haven't seen it, it's a free cargo cart. Doesn't cost any in-game cash. It's not an NFT. Completely free. Stick 16 of them in your town. And I mean, you don't have to. You won't get stars for whatever they sell. And you'll only get 25% of the cash. But your town's never going to die again. That's been, in my opinion, a major design problem in this game. Is new people come in, they're like, "Hey, what happened? My town's dead," and they're stuck.
It's
So
definitely super helpful for newer players or for people who are worried about running out of gas at some point.
yeah, so that's that's in there. I'm glad now I can ask my aunt to try the game again because that was what she rage quit over. All right, and last is, as you know, you earn dirt right now if you do the daily challenges. On our big banner on our main webpage, of course, we say now, come down world now with soil and all that. Part of the light paper talks about we are going to convert dirt to soil. We're finalizing some of our nightly distribution code so that each night you will get soil instead of dirt. And then we're getting all the scripts and everything peer reviewed, QA'd, and all that when we do exchange dirt for soil. So that's going really well. That's in progress. And yeah, we'll be excited to see that happen because dirt, as you know, is not a cryptocurrency and soil is. So that will be
Hooray!
fun. Yeah. All right, Farmer Michelle. You want to move on to Q&A?
Yeah, let me read this first one for you since it looks like you're going to answer it.
Oh, alrighty.
It says, if I have two blueprints for Hasty Windmill, one of legendary rarity and the other of rare rarity, and I accidentally select both, which one will be active?
Oh, okay. That's the UI thing I mentioned before. Yeah, right now in the current UI, there's no way to know which one, but we will always pick the highest of the two. So when you apply, the highest is chosen. Let's see. Next one's for you. Player says, I think in the daily challenge, the leaderboard should be based on the amount of town points, not on stars. Since in this mode, in the daily challenge mode, he means town points is what really matters, and stars serve no purpose. Okay, what do you say about that?
I mean, the leaderboard is just kind of there for default. It doesn't really mean anything in that mode. We're not going to be listing in the leaderboard everybody's collected town points. I could see that causing a security risk because then it would target players who get higher town points. So we definitely aren't going to list in the leaderboard how many town points people are getting.
Okay. Let me add, we got a question here from Moyes I'll stick down later. Yeah, leaderboard. Always questions about that, right?
Yeah, and we don't necessarily need a leaderboard in the daily challenge area. It's just kind of there by default because it's in most of the other modes, and you can always look at it and see who got their challenge done with the least amount of stars at the end of it. I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose there.
Let's see. Next one. We need an on-off switch for the shade and night effects. The day-night cycle. That is a fact. You do need the ability to turn that on and off. We give you audio controls. Why not that stuff? Yeah, so I agree. We do. Next question's for you, Farmer Michelle. Oh, man. I love this. I love when you guys give good feedback. First of all, this person writes, this is not Volcron, I swear. This is somebody else. I would like to congratulate you on the change in the town points distribution between owner and renter. It seems fairer this way. And I say this as a renter myself. I thought that at that time you would increase the library. Oh, here we go. capacity, as there are many people with several NFTs eligible for points who don't play the game due to lack of time or whatever. Do you have an estimate of when the library size for a guild will be expanded?
I mean, the library capacity for a guild is determined by its upgrade level. So once we get into upgrading those node NFTs, that will be when the capacity can be increased through upgrades. That'll also increase your guild size, so you can have more people in your guild and more NFTs in the library. Yeah, that'll all happen with upgrades.
Yeah, there was. I also want to point out that V1, to get guilds out there and earnings and all that stuff, we usually do things in iterative manner. V1 is like, okay, here's the core of the feature. As y'all notice right now, only the guild leader can share NFTs. In the background, we've been working on tech for other reasons, mostly for um, interfacing with Gala chain and stuff like that. And that tech will allow us to expand who can add to the guild library. So it won't just be the leader eventually. So if you thought, oh, it's always going to be only the leader, that's not the case.
That'll be really awesome when people in the guild can also contribute NFTs that they're not using. It'd be much more collaborative.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, you want me to read this one?
Sure.
It says, why does the practice version of Common Ground World achieve a higher rate for crafting items even when identical design in the competition achieves a slower crafting rate? Is there extra validation back end that slows the overall crafting rate?
That is wild. They use the same data set, the same game logic. If you have, let's see who sent it. If you send me your user ID and your town names, I will look at them. They should be the exact same. We don't have in some MMOs you have like server ticks, like every 6 seconds something happens, and you would think like, oh, well, maybe there's a tick rounding error, so we don't really do it like that. So, Farmer Michelle, why is the Miranda's Vox not going to be placeable to earn points in CGW? It used to be before, and I think one of the selling points was being able to earn points with it when Jal introduced it. What do you think about that? Well, I can answer for you. both both the Town Star and the Miranda's Fox will be in the game eventually, and you will be rewarded once you add it to the game. If you want to know the nerdy reason, it's because there are tons and literally thousands of Vox out there. If you open your web inspector when you launch our game, you'll see that the pack file that's downloaded is like almost 300 megs. That's a problem for mobile players, and it's really big for people on metered connections and stuff like that. And we certainly don't want to make you download 2 gigs of data every time you go to play the game. You say, well, Volcron, that's silly. Of course not. Just do an asset load remotely. Like, yeah, that's one way to do it. Pretty high tech. Or we could stick in something called the Vox box, which when you place it in your town, every Vox that you own, Miranda's or not, is considered placed in your town as well. So that's 2 ways to do it. I think we'd all have more fun if you could see your Vox that you bought walking around. But next question, Farmer Michelle. This game is fun and has a variety of characters, but can you make it with a full-fledged story and tutorial? I think it would be good to make the game easily accessible regardless of coin earnings. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Me and Farmer Michelle talked about that yesterday. I think she's currently, I think she got kicked offline or lost power or something. So I will continue doing my best Farmer Michelle impersonation. Absolutely. We would love the story-based stuff, and I'm glad that you guys care about that kind of thing too. Okay. Why does the new Common Ground World landing page, the main menu, why does it make Forever mode so huge? Are there big plans for the mode in the future? This is from Tofu. Yeah. Well, as you know, Eric, our CEO, benefactor, as you might know him, is huge into regenerative agriculture, soil health, all that stuff. I mean, that's why we renamed the game to Commandant, based on the movie. And yeah, we have a ton of wish list items, things like achievements in the game, happiness meters for your dudes, weather, the day-night cycle that somebody was asking about earlier. That's part of the weather system. We didn't want to go like full sim on it, like full other games, tornadoes and things like that. It's not meant to be a horrifying experience.
No
So,
tornadoes.
oh, you're back. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I must have just lost internet for a second, but I'm back now.
All right. Well, they were asking about what's the future of the Commodore world mode.
Yep.
And I was, well, okay. We got two more pre-planned questions.
You want me to read this one? Hopefully my internet
Sure.
won't cut out.
Yeah.
It says, why do we have to place dirt earning NFTs in the game? Wouldn't the database know how much NFTs we own and can just look them up in our inventory? For those with lots of NFTs, it seems tedious to place them all.
Well, that's true. When we were designing this, there, especially considering Vox and all that, there was the question of like, why don't we just let somebody play with the NFTs or not, and we just give them the points? Why do they have to put them down or whatever? Well, back in 2021, it was due to legal reasons. So, everybody knows lawyers are super fun. And that was part of the reason you had to physically click your mouse and place the thing. Last questions for Farmer Michelle. It's about the oil seep. Can we change it so that instead of getting 25,000 cash for removing it from a new town, that you get you have to pay 200,000 in-game cash to remove it? This is counterintuitive, as they see the cash as a reward currently when you get to 25K, rather than making it something most players should not remove. So what do you think about all that?
I mean, one of the perks of having an oil producing NFT is that you get that cash advantage by being able to remove that oil seep early. So, that is one of the advantages of having an NFT like that. I could see maybe if we could edit the pop-up box when you remove things that let you know why you might want them, because you do also get cash back for removing pawns, and those also come in handy, and you are going to want pawns most of the time, but you get cash back for removing those as well. So and again, that's one of the benefits of having water producing NFTs is you don't need to have as many pawns, so you can remove them and get extra cash early in the game. So no, we won't be changing it so that it costs money to remove the oil seep. But I could see us adding a little warning in the pop-up that says that you might not want to remove it because it gives you passive crude oil.
Makes sense. All right. Well, we don't have too many live Q&A. We have people asking about day-night cycle, which you kind of talked about. I think, Michelle, you addressed all the others. Dubstep says, is the 50-50 split live now for renting? I think it's still 80-20, right?
No, I thought it went live a couple weeks ago. I remember making an announcement about it.
Let me double check. I will look at the data right now.
Yeah, then you'll know.
Let me look at it. It is 50-50. Hey, yeah. That's awesome. Let's see. Farmer Michelle, let's say somebody wanted to advertise their guild. What's the best way to do that? Like if they're like, join my guild. I have all these earning rewards NFTs.
We have a whole guilds channel right in the common ground area of the Discord. And as long as you have that TS common ground, the at a loss for words, that tag in your Discords just so that you can go in there. You can go in there and post whatever you want.
Nice.
You can certainly list what NFTs you've got. You can try to recruit some people, let people know you've got open spots. I mean, you can also do it in the main chat, but people will go into the guild chat looking for that kind of stuff more often than not.
That makes sense. Okay, we had a live question from Moise about the solar-powered golf cart thingy, the cargo cart. What's the priority? So if I have a fancy high-speed NFT down and one of these free things that makes me less money, which goes first? I'm going to say, because we have priorities on all the things, I'm going to say the fancy stuff goes first. But I will find out for sure. I will ask the dev who implemented that, and maybe he will get back to me before the end of this. There we go. All right. Farmer Michelle, what are we doing this week for the meta?
The
Or
meta
next
this
week,
coming
sorry.
week, yep. The meta this coming week is Halloween themed. So it's going to be a Starlight Market box. And inside that wooden box for your Starlight Market box will be a trick-or-treat bag and a uniform. Everything that you need to go out and do some trick-or-treating. The ingredients for a trick-or-treat bag are 3 chocolate bars, 3 candy corn, and 1 cotton yarn. That's made in the candy shop. And then for uniforms, that is 3 cotton yarn, 1 wool yarn, and 3 energy, and that's made in the fabric plant. The Starlight Market box itself is made in the boxing facility. And again, that's 1 uniform, 1 trick-or-treat bag, and a wooden box. The craft time for that is 60 seconds, same as it usually is for the Starlight Market box, stored right in the warehouse. The cash boosts for this week are cornstarch and cotton yarn. So cornstarch is going up from 2,300 to 6,000, and cotton yarn is going up from 3,250 to 9,000. So those are the 2 cash boosts. The starter town is a desert starter town. It's Desert West. The edges are river to the north and to the south, and then desert to the west and the east. So you got rivers running on both sides. The trade time is 20 seconds. And I think that's all I've got for this week's meta. Next week's event, which I've already leaked, is a fish tank. I think I told everybody the ingredients. I think they're in the bot command, maybe in the announcement. They were 4 molten glass, 1 salt, 25 water, and 2 salmon. Oh, and a limestone. There we go. There it is. Thanks, Volcron. I was trying to remember it off the top of my head. There it is.
That
And
town
those are
looks
the
so
next 2
cute,
weeks of events.
with a little twisty road and the paved roads at the end.
The starter town for this week, yeah, I liked it. That's a good one. I try to make them look different every week.
But you know, I'll never claim to be like a pro gamer at this one. I mean, I do the dailies and I try the weeklies, but your placement of the water pumps and the paved road and everything was teaching me more about how to make a compact oil and gas
Oh,
refinery
good.
area. Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, they did that on purpose. I think
That's
maybe
nice
even
to
the
hear.
lumber mill. Yeah, so that was very clever. Thank you for doing that.
Good. Well, I hope other people who were new to the game also learned a lot while I've been having the oil pumps and stuff, or the water pumps and the fuel storage in there. Those won't last forever, but
Do you and Wild Moopsy ever think about making like a weekly or daily challenge that is just completely bizarre, like a quarter of the screen full of pumpkin fields, or um, we don't have anything on fire yet, but something.
it definitely would be really cool. I know we've been looping the same 7 daily challenges for a few weeks now while we catch up on some other stuff, but there will be new daily challenges coming. Probably in November would be my guess, and I'll see if we can get some cool, fun ones in there. If anyone has any suggestions for what they'd like to make for a daily challenge and a starter town, feel free to send them my way, and we'll see if we can
Ooh.
toss them into the mix.
Yeah, maybe a giant spiraling labyrinth. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's see. Normally, we would have Riant in here to talk about sales. And I think some of you guys saw the really cool art at the beginning of this town hall. Farmer Michelle, do you want to talk about the cool, sweet, amazing looking art that's going to be on sale this week?
The Phantom ship, it is a really cool art. I love the little guys that float around it. I don't know if I ever ended up posting a GIF of just the little spirits. I don't know what you would call them floating around it, but they're definitely super cute. All right, so what this NFT does, it gives passive water in a 5 tile range, but it's 2 passive water for each tile. So usually when we do water NFTs, it's like 5 water, then 4 water in the next ring out, then 3 water out there in the next one. This one is 2 water the whole way, so it's like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hopefully that made sense to everybody who was listening. 5 tile range, 2 water in all 5 of the range tiles. It has 2 options for crafting. You can either have it craft water like a well or a wind pump would, and that'll happen every 15 seconds, not affected by any proximities at all. Or you can have it craft water drums every 30 seconds. No requirements for anything. It doesn't need water nearby to craft the water drums. It just crafts them every 30 seconds, not affected by any proximity. It also has 3 ghostly units that walk around to deliver water and water drums. They move pretty fast. Their in-game speed is 3.33 for all of you who pay attention to what the unit speeds are.
Whoa, 3 units?
Yeah, 3 units. And they will also pick up water from other wells and wind pumps if you have them down in the game and deliver water around as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait, so they deliver not just the barrels or the water?
They will do both. They're assigned to do any water drum or water delivery.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't really see them probably going to do water drums very often because most of the time if you're using like the water facility for water drums, it's got a unit that just drops it off right after it's made anyway.
Yeah. True story.
Yeah.
That's cool. Man, I love the art. When our artist showed us this like a month ago, I mean, you guys, we planned this stuff out so far in advance, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
It is a really cool NFT.
I love it. Super fun. Okay. Well, guys, get your questions in. Last chance before me and Farmer Michelle go back to the grind. Moyes again, when will daily challenge just be a number of stars? I think we answered that. Probably never.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to change daily challenges over to just a number of stars.
I guess on that thing, in case you didn't hear it last time, like right now it's trades, right? Like sell 20 white rice or honey or whatever. But the way we designed it, we could use any verb in that spot. It doesn't have to be trade. It could be destroy or build. We could say, build 50 ponds or destroy, well, let's say regenerate 50 spoiled soil or things like that. So it's not always going to be just trading. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of potential for cool stuff with the daily challenges.
Dubstep, thanks for the visual.
Yep, it does look accurate, I think.
Well, everybody have an awesome weekend. It was great connecting with you. I hope you love this ship. I am very excited for it too. And for Michelle, thanks again for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
See you all later. Be sure to like and subscribe. Turn on notifications.
Yep, don't miss any town halls.
That's right. See you later. Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.